Welcome. You're watching Rugby with Rifle, a podcast about all things rugby and life, with your host, Danny Pabone and Rifle Scudder.
Welcome to Rugby with Rifle, a podcast about all things rugby and life. As always, I'm joined here with my friend Rifle. Rifle, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you, Danny. Just got the draw for the Rugby World Cup, the pools that they did. So we'll talk about that, as you said, in a future program, but not very happy with the way things have turned out there. Let's just leave it there and we'll talk about it next week.
Yes, we'll leave it there and leave that for a future episode. Rifle's frustration with World Rugby, but that's a whole nother episode that we'll talk about in the future. In this episode, as always, we wanted to just touch upon a play in which happened between South Africa and Wales, as in our last episode. If you haven't watched that episode, please check it out, where we spoke about this game in which South Africa won 73-0 or 73-0, and that game ended in an unfortunate situation. Again, just go check out that episode if you haven't yet. So we wanted to just highlight a play again by SFM. Oh, was it? Yes, it was
Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, yes.
Yes, a very high IQ play from him during this particular game. So we're just going to get right to it. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to show the audience the play here. Oh, there we go.
Just even before you start, Danny, what we've spoken about before, what can you tell me about Wales, the red team, their backline? What can you see there?
There are a lot of gaps. They're not in a straight line. So there's a lot of gaps for the South African players to run through.
Correct. And you can see the white jerseys on the end there. You got maybe 5 guys. And red, you've got 3 at the end, 3 or 4. So South Africa already have an overlap as well. So you got Wales not standing in one line. So there are gaps in their defense. And they're one player short as well from that picture. So South Africa would be easy to have an overlap. So that's already not the best place to be in if another team is attacking. So not good from Wales' point of view.
Yes. And playing against the number 1 team in the world. So that's another factor that comes into play. So let me just actually make this screen a little bit bigger so it'll be a little easier for our audience to see what's going on here. Let me just, here we go. And actually, okay, so here we go. So sorry everybody, technical difficulties here we go. So we have South Africa with the ball coming through. Good tackle there. And now we see the referee here with his hand up. And if you're new to rugby, that indicates that a penalty is about to be called, if I'm correct, or advantage. If I'm not mistaken.
That's a penalty, yeah.
Yes, that's a penalty. And the motion that everybody sees here, so the sound is not here, and SFM scores. So why are we highlighting this play? So as you have told me so many times, Rifle, or you've taught me actually, is in the game of rugby, there is what's called a 10-meter rule. So throughout this play, and we have a description here. So the scrum half, number 9 of Wales, Kieran Hardy, he concedes a penalty. And Kieran Hardy, he's the one who made the tackle on SFM. If I could just scroll back here. So we see here on the floor, number 9 makes the initial tackle. And he was impeding South Africa from getting the ball. In other words, he did not roll away. So he conceded the penalty. Because if you're new to rugby, once you tackle a player, you have to roll away. You cannot stay on top of the player and impede him from getting the ball to, throwing the ball back to his teammates after the tackle. So a tackler has to roll away after they make the tackle. And as you can see here, and again, Rifle is just going to add some color to this. And as you can see here, this number 9 pushes this player's back, pushes him back. So he prohibits him from helping his teammate. And that's where the penalty is called. Shortly after that, you see the referee raise his hand and call it the penalty. Now, what SFM does has to do with the 10-meter rule. And he does a very high IQ play that I'm going to let Rifle explain what he did that was genius and allowed him to score this try.
Okay, so as soon as the referee will raise his right hand and he'll put it up, his left hand, he'll show you what the penalty is for. So his hand is up. So now what happens is the red team who gave the penalty away, they have to fall back 10 meters. And if they do not fall back 10 meters and they play the player, then they could either get another 10 meters penalty down the field. Mm-hmm. So your 10 meters now becomes 20. Or if they've made many mistakes in the game, they could get a yellow card, depending on the situation. So what happens now, there you can see Sacha is coming towards the ball in the left corner there. You can see he's going to pick up the ball. So in his mind, he knows now we have a penalty. But look at the guys. They're lying on the ground. They're watching him. They are not retreating 10 meters. So he knows, and this is very good of him, he understands that if I take a tap, which means I'm going to kick the ball with my foot, and if I start playing and I run towards them, they are not allowed to tackle me because they are not 10 meters back. So if you don't understand that, this is going to look very strange because you're actually going to see the Welshmen putting their hands in the air to say to the referee, oh, I'm not touching him, I'm not touching him, I'm falling back, I'm falling back. And he literally runs in between two players while they're going back because they're not 10 meters yet. And he uses that to his advantage. And you can't see in the picture now, but when he scores the try, there's one Welshman behind them who was 10 meters back, and he can legally go and tackle Sacha, and he catches him under the posts. But the guys right in front of him now, they may be 3, 4, 5 meters away. They are not allowed to play the man until they have fallen 10 meters back.
And it's interesting because you can see here, Rifle, if I just bring this back a little bit. Now, if you did not know that rule of the 10 meters, if you're new to rugby, you did not know that rule, it's like you said, it looks strange because look at right here. So he gets the ball. Now you see these players retreating. Now, if I was new to rugby, in my mind, I was like, why are they going backwards? You need to go forwards to tackle him. Don't go backwards.
Oh, why are you
So
not tackling him? I mean, let alone
yeah,
just going back. You're putting your hands in the air and letting him run in between you. What are you doing?
yes. So prior to me learning the game of rugby, if I were to see this play, that would look weird to me. Why are the Welsh players running backwards and not running forwards to tackle him? And that's why, because again, like you said, when a team concedes a penalty, if the your opponent has the ball, they have to run at least 10 meters before you can touch them. And that's exactly why everybody's seen here the Welsh players running back and not going towards him to tackle him. And as you can see here, he runs in between players. And
And
number
there's a number
10,
10 who
yep,
was, yeah, he was 10 meters back. So he can legally go chase him, tackle him down. But unfortunately, it's too late and he's under the posts already.
yes. So again, a very high IQ. And let me just run the play again. So we see the tackle here. The official calling the penalty. And as you can see here, he does it quick. So he grabs the ball and boom, right there. He does it so quick that I can't stop it fast enough. Boom. He's tapping the ball forward to himself. And
Because
all these
what
players right here are covering that, but he taps the ball forward to himself.
because with South Africa getting the penalty there, they can do immediately in that circumstance, they can do one of three things. There are more things that they can do, but they can choose. They can take a penalty kick to posts. And if they kick it over, they get 3 points. So that's one thing that you can do. The second thing that you can do is you can wear the markers. You can kick to the line. And if you kick the ball out, then you're going to get a line out. It's going to be your ball. So that's the second option. Third thing, they can call for a scrum. So you can scrum down there and say, okay, slow it down, scrum. South Africa like to scrum. Or what we see Sacha do here is all of these things going in his mind. Should I kick for post? Should I kick for the touchline? Okay, these guys are not 10 meters away. So even if something goes wrong, they are not going to be able to play me because they need to get 10 meters away. So quick tap and go. And what happens? A try under the post and an easy kick. So 7 points for South Africa, just thinking quickly on his feet.
Yes, this is an amazing try. And like I said, you missed the little kick tap to himself because these players are blocking him. But it happened so quick that you miss it. So at this point, like I said, as Wolf Rifle just noted, he's kicking a little tap kick to himself. He's doing that right now at where the tackle occurred. And then again, him knowing that the Welsh players have to be at least 10 meters from where the tackle was made, he knew that they couldn't touch him. And he's a very fast player. And if, like you have said, at the end of the play, this player right here, number 10, was the only player that will be able to tackle him because he was at least 10 meters away from him. But by that time, SFM is so quick, it was too late. He couldn't catch up to him fast enough. And you see the try scored by SFM. Again, a very high IQ play that allowed him to score a try. The other interesting thing here, Rifle, point number 3 was that South Africa had committed a knock-on. And again, if you're new to rugby, if the offensive team that has the ball creates a knock-on, and knock-on is the ball leaves your hand it moves forward and touches the ground moving forward, that's considered a knock on. As you know, you only pass the ball back. So if a ball hits the player and it moves forward and it hits the ground, whether it's by mistake or intentional, it's considered a knock on. And then the other team gets the ball and they have to go into a scrum. But however, that did not happen because the penalty by Wales occurred before the knock on. So that penalty supersedes the knock on. And this is the result of the play that we see here. So such an amazing play. And as you can see, Rifle and everybody watching at home, he made that decision in what, half a second? Because it was so
split
quick.
second. Your mind has got to choose very quick what you're going to do there. Yeah.
Yeah. So an amazing play by SFM. Wow, it was just amazing. And to be honest with you, Rifle, when you brought this play up to me, if I were to watch this play 100 times, I'll be like, what in the world just happened? Who knows how long it would have taken me to figure out.
So for anyone new who is watching, be attentive. Next time any team gets a penalty, you will see the other team move 10 meters back. So that is whether you get a free kick or you get a penalty. That is the law. You have to be 10 meters away before you're allowed to play your opponents once they take the ball. So just be attentive to that. 10 meters, you fall back. I'm just thinking now in the Rugby World Cup, it was 23. South Africa played against England in the semi-finals, and South Africa got a penalty, and I will just say someone from the English team was chirping the ref. So they had to fall 10 meters back, and an English player was not happy with what the ref did. So he said something to the ref, and the ref said, okay, another 10 meters back. So the 10 meters became 20. And that's in rugby. You must fall 10 meters away from the team who gets the penalty. And that's very, very important, because if you don't, as I say, you can get a yellow card. They can chase you off. You can get 10 meters added to the 10. So just depending on the circumstance and position of the game. But 10 meters are the bare minimum that you have to fall away. So if you're new, you can watch that now and understand why they're going away. They have to be 10 meters away.
And was that English player your favorite player by any chance?
I'm not answering that. I loved it though. It was so good.
Yes, you have to watch previous episodes to find out who Rifle's favorite player on England is. So with that, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode explaining the 10-meter rule in rugby. Again, great play by SFM, high IQ. He knew the situation. Again, just going back to American football, especially American football, there's a lot of situational plays where you can have an advantage against your opponent, and you have to, along with rugby and NFL, it's so quick. So, and then you have the advantage, or I should say, you get that advantage at one point of the game, and there's so many things you could do with that advantage. And to think of the many things you could do with that advantage and come up with a play that leaves everybody like, wow, what an amazing play. It takes a lot of knowledge of the game. It takes fast thinking. It takes great coaching as well, because, sometimes watching American football, I see plays, you're like, oh man, wow. They took advantage of that situation very well. And that takes great coaching, a lot of practice, and just a player that knows what's happening and can make a split decision. And that's exactly what SFM did. So yeah, what a great player. Thanks for highlighting that, Rifle. It
Very
was an
welcome.
amazing play to watch. So with that, again, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode highlighting the 10-meter rule. Rifle, thank you as always.
Very welcome.
And until next time, everybody, take care.
Cheers.
Thank you for watching this episode of Rugby with Rifle. Remember to press the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet to support this podcast.